Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! Introduction. Hi there folks, grab a seat and let me tell you a wild story that unfolded in my quiet little neighborhood. My name is Max and I'm a Repo truck driver. I've seen my fair share of difficult people in this line of work, but none quite like my next door neighbor, Sally. Buckle up because this tale is about to take you on a roller coaster ride. Setting the scene. It's a serene neighborhood filled with white picket fences, blooming flowers, and friendly neighbors who lend a helping hand. But then there is Sally. She had a knack for doing everything in a book to make my life miserable. Whether it was blaring loud music late at night or parking her car in front of my driveway, she seemed determined to push my buttons. I always tried to approach her with kindness, believing that a little understanding could go a long way. But no matter how many times I asked nicely, she continued to disregard the needs of others around her. Patience wore thin, and opportunity knocked when I discovered that Sally had defaulted on her loan payments for her car. Repo time. The day had finally come when I had the chance to put an end to Sally's disruptive antics. As a repo truck driver, it was my duty to repossess vehicles from those who failed to meet their financial obligations. Armed with the necessary legal paperwork and a truck equipped for towing, I prepared for a confrontation that I hoped would bring about a change. I approached Sally's house with mixed feelings of determination and apprehension. I knew this encounter could be a turning point for better or worse. Knocking on her door, I tried to summon up my friendliest smile as I prepared to deliver the news. The confrontation. "Sally, we need to talk," I said, attempting to remain calm. "What do you want now, Max?" she snapped, her voice laced with annoyance. "I'm sorry to inform you that due to your default on loan payments, I am here to repossess your car," I replied, my tone firm but empathetic. "You've got some nerve, Max. This is my car, and you're not taking it," she shouted, her face turning a deep shade of crimson. Things escalate. Suddenly, Sally darted back into her house and re-emerged, pointing a gun directly at me. My heart raced and I instinctively backed away. My hands held high. It was a tense moment, one I never anticipated while carrying out my job. "Put the gun down, Sally. We can resolve this peacefully," I pleaded, my voice trembling at this point. But reason was lost on her as fear and desperation took control. She refused to relent, convinced that she could scare me away. In that moment, I realized that the situation had spiraled out of control, and I needed to seek help. The cavalry arrives. I retreated to a safe distance, my mind racing. Without wasting a second, I dialed 911, explaining the gravity of the situation to the dispatcher. The words "armed confrontation" seemed to ignite a swift response. Within minutes, multiple police cruisers swarmed the scene. Officers quickly assessed the situation, taking strategic positions to ensure everyone's safety. Negotiators attempted to talk to Sally down while making sure she understood the gravity of her actions. After what felt like an eternity, Sally finally relinquished her weapon, her face a mix of desperation and realization. It was a pivotal moment that would forever alter the course of our lives. Justice served. As Sally was apprehended by the police, the consequences of her actions became apparent. Pointing an unregistered weapon at someone is a severe offense, and it carries significant legal consequences. While my initial intention was only to repossess her car, her actions had dire repercussions. The court proceedings unfolded and Sally faced charges for her reckless behavior. The legal system determined that her actions were a clear threat, and she was subsequently sentenced to a few years in prison. It was a stark reminder of how one impulsive decision can forever alter the course of a person's life. The epilogue. In the aftermath, my neighborhood breathed a collective sigh of relief. Sally's absence allowed for tranquility to return, and the community could finally find solace in their once peaceful haven. As for me, I continued my work as a repo truck driver, albeit with a renewed sense of caution and awareness. This extraordinary chapter in my life served as a reminder that every person has their limits. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, peaceful resolutions are impossible. But through adversity, we find strength, and in the face of danger, we seek help. It's a testament to the power of community and the resilience of the human spirit. And so, my friends, that's the story of how a routine repo job turned into a heart-pounding encounter. Life has its ups and downs, but it's the unexpected twists that truly make our journeys memorable. As for Sally, I hope her time in prison allows her the opportunity for reflection and personal growth. And who knows, maybe one day we will cross paths again, under very different circumstances. The end. Today, I was shopping for my family at the Midwest's best grocery chain. Let's call it M, something that I dislike on Sundays as it's a madhouse, and therefore I usually order my groceries if I procrastinate until Sunday. But I needed a little break from my amazing family after so much togetherness over the last few days. We buried my dear mother-in-law Friday after an aneurysm that shocked us all. Like I said, I needed a break even though I'm on chemotherapy and took it yesterday. I do it on Saturday so I don't miss work and so my students don't see their teacher looking deathly ill. I digress. Back to the story. As I mentioned earlier, I dislike shopping on Sundays. But here I was ready to tackle the crowds with my on-a-mission stare and one headphone in listening to a book, the other dangling out so people could not only see I was listening to something and therefore not approach me, but also know that I could hear them if I was in the way or something. The big red M has products in the front of the store, and their employees wear blue-collared shirts with khakis or a blue apron with khakis or black pants, and always closed-toed shoes. Oh, and a visor or ball cap. Today I'm sporting a navy shirt with red, purple, and light blue flowers, jeans rolled up to just above my ankles, platform sandals, and my pink sunglasses on top of my head. I look nothing like their wonderful employees. And since I'm pushing a blue shopping cart and looking at produce, I am minding my own business when Karen first makes her appearance. Karen clears her throat and I move to the side, assuming she also wants to look at the blackberries on sale for $5. My book is getting interesting, so I don't really pay her any mind. Karen says, then clears her throat again. Excuse me. Me? I'm sorry, I'm almost done. Midwestern manners kick in and I hurry up. Karen was exasperated and said, Excuse me. Sorry. I'm sure I looked as thoroughly confused as I was at this point, since I had only taken a quick moment to get my 5 pinned. Are you done yet? Mind you, I am walking away with my cart at this point. So yeah, I am done, dummy. All yours. They all look good. It's a good price, huh? Yeah, but I want the ones you got since it looks like you got the best ones. I think they all look good, sorry. I turn to leave and go to the bananas. Well, that was rude. She says it loudly and at no one in particular. I keep shopping, laughing at how I've just encountered a Karen of sorts, but thankfully made it out unscathed, or so I thought. Next up is a bakery department. I am picking up some sweets for my boys 4 and 6 and my husband for breakfast since my husband is on bereavement leave and will be taking the boys into school, leaving me to get some grading done before my students get to my school. Karen re-entered the picture just as I picked up a 40% off package of donuts. Score! I was going to get those. Mind you, I had them in my cart before she was in the area. Okay, well, that stinks. I think, oh, here we go again. It's not fair. You are taking
all of the good stuff for yourself.
Well, I guess get ahead of me then.
No, you need to share with the other customers.
I believe the store has a first-come, first-served policy, but whatever.
Customers should not have to wait for you to get their stuff.
Me, still not realizing that she thinks I work here. Whatever, hon. I don't have to cater to you. I walk away with my donuts.
I said I wanted those.
I'm ignoring her and walking away. Karen was not at all happy about this.
Give me those cookies.
They are donuts, and no.
You can't just take what you want. Give it.
Me, still walking away. I got them first, and it looks like I can and did. Toodles. Big grin on my face. I went up and down the frozen aisle quickly, as all I was getting were popsicles for my boys. I'm in the fish department, which also hosts bacon for some reason, when Karen makes her way to me again. She says this to some innocent older lady.
Don't you hate when entitled brat employees take things and hide them for themselves?
The lady nervously smiles at her as she continues.
They think they are special and they ignore the paying customers.
I actually laugh hard at her nonsense and respond as a lady and Karen are plucking my bass. I always assume that they are not working, on break, or something. I've not worked retail in many years, but I think everyone should at some point, as it helps one appreciate how difficult it can be. The innocent lady smiles at me and says, "You are so right." This enraged Karen, but she is yet to go off, so I keep shopping. I'm looking at the wine selection trying to figure out if I want to get another bottle or actually drink what I have at home. And that's when again Psycho Karen approaches. I naively thought maybe she heard me when I said I don't work in retail, but nope.
I suppose you're going to get some wine too.
Nope, I'm going to drink what I have at home. But this is good if you're wanting a decent bottle.
I should have known you were an alcoholic.
I laugh. What?
An employee who uses their discount to get some cheap wine, huh? You are sad.
Actually, you, my dear, are the sad one, and I don't work here, so please leave me alone. I am done with your entitled behavior. Karen rips my headphones out of my ear. It's a cheap pair, but still.
How rude. Take those out.
Excuse me? Do not touch me again, lady.
I have had about enough of you and your sad alcoholism.
That's funny, I've had about enough of you too, and your abusive behavior. And for the record, I drink about once every few days, a glass at most, to unwind from my not here position. I know that I worded this poorly.
Do not lie to me. I know you work here.
No, but I shop here regularly, so maybe you've seen me here. I've never worked for this store. I know for a fact that no employee looks remotely like me.
Yes, you do. You're wearing their colors even.
So, because I'm wearing a different blue with red flowers, I work here?
You work here.
I laugh at this point hysterically, my Karen in a wild catch. Yeah, okay, lady.
Wait here. I am getting your manager, and you'll be sorry.
Oh, and she reaches into my cart and takes my donuts. I laugh and take them back. Karen gets red in the face.
Management! Manager! Manager!
I walk away and surprisingly 2 other customers come up to me. Customer number 1 says, "What in the heck was that lady's problem with you?" I don't know, I guess she thinks that I work here and employees must bow down to her. Customer number 2 says, "You handled her so well. I would have been frantic." Customer 1 says, "I know you from somewhere. Are you my kid's teacher?" "Well, I'm a teacher." "Who's your kid?" And he tells me his kid's name. Me laughing. "Yep, how's his project going?" We chat and then we go back to shopping because we hear Karen still hollering about needing a manager and none of us want to deal with her brand of crazy. I head to the other non-grocery side of the Mega Mart, get what I need, and head to the checkout feeling grateful that I managed to get what I needed without further incident. Or so I thought. I'm standing in line, cart full, when I hear the god-awful voice of Karen.
Let me be in front of you. I already reported you to your manager, and she said she'd talk to you later. Employees should go after customers.
Hands on hips expectantly. I don't know who you talk to, but again, out of work here. I have waited for 2 other customers to get through the line beforehand. And while I appreciate your cart has less than mine, I don't think I'll offer you anything since you have been insufferably narcissistic and have displayed downright disgusting behavior.
That's it.
And the nasty woman hit me. She actually hit me with her cart.
I am getting your manager. You'll be sorry for this.
She took off yelling again as I began to unload my cart. I am pale in the face because today is the day after my chemotherapy treatment, and I'm so not happy with this lady and her nasty attitude. Normally, I would have let someone with a few small items go ahead of me, but not today, as I just want to get home and get to bed. I am lucky enough that my chemotherapy doesn't render me bedridden like it does many people, but I don't exactly feel great. The kind employee notices my sheet white appearance and asks me if I need assistance. He said that they had already called a manager after the incident with the lady. And normally I would say no thank you, but I take him up on his offer and sit on the blue benches in front of his lane while he and another employee unload and reload my cart. They even put in my perks code for me. This store is really the best. The manager comes up as I'm getting up to pay. Karen in tow. Is this the lady you're talking about?
Yes. She's still here. Now take care of her. She was so rude, and she took all the good things. I bet she steals too.
Manager perplexed. She isn't an employee. She shops here often though, ma'am. So maybe you've seen her?
You're telling me she doesn't work here? I don't understand. Why you're covering for her? She stole from my cart.
Customer number 1, who I think was waiting around for Karen, is in line and says loudly, you stole from her cart. She just took it back.
Well, employees should not get the discounted things.
The manager tells her, ma'am, employees are allowed to buy whatever they please. And again, I am sorry, but she doesn't work here.
She's a thief.
I say, please just let me be. I am feeling quite ill, but if you need to look at a video or something, I'll wait. But can you please put up my frozen popsicles? The employee who saw her hit me, manager, I think you should look at the video in my lane too.
I did nothing wrong.
Manager tells her, no one said you did. She raises an eyebrow. Some other employee came out. I think he was a store security. He says, I think you'll find the lady in pink was repeatedly harassing the lady in blue and even hit her. Turns to me. We can produce video if you want to press charges. I say, I just want to get home. I think I'm going to be sick.
Call the cops. They'll see she's a thief.
Okay, I am so over you, lady. I will gladly wait for the police to arrive, and I will press charges as you have harassed me repeatedly, attempted to damage my headphones, and hit me. I have never stolen anything in my life, except a piece of candy when I was 5, and I felt so guilty about it that I went back and tattled on myself and paid for it. The manager says, let's calm down here.
Liar! You stole my donuts.
Me, very calmly and sweetly as can be, no, I merely took back my donuts that you took out of my cart. The employee says, let's review the tapes. Gladly, but can I please sit? I am really not feeling well.
Baker.
They called the police and the police officer reviewed the tapes as Karen sat there smugly with a poop-eating grin expecting vindication. A police officer asks for our statements. Karen jumps in first and I'm visibly sick at this point. And the officer asks if I'm okay. I tell him I'm in chemotherapy and I don't feel good. This seems to anger Karen, who begins yelling at me as it's now my turn to speak. The officer asks her to shut up. She doesn't, so he handcuffed her and said she was going to be charged with disrupting the peace, regardless of whether I wanted to press charges against her for harassment and repeated assault, amongst other things. She went more pale than me, which is saying something. The manager gave me a gift card for my troubles
and said with a wink in her eye that if I ever wanted a job, I could have one. I did press charges which I would have dropped, but since she made me throw up in public, I wanted her to be humiliated too. I plan on using my gift card for some classroom items, tissues and hand sanitizer, and food for my homeless students. I told the manager I didn't need the gift card, but she insisted. When I told her what I was using it for, the $20 became $100. My students are going to have food for the weekends for several weeks. Thank you, Karen and M. the Thrifty Acres.
And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.